Alright. So this is like day 6. Alright. Yeah, day 6. Alright. This is day 6 of the interview. Alright. So, Anthony, how was your day in school? It was good, but it could have been better. Alright. Tell me why it could have been better. Alright. So, in science class, I earned an X on my point sheet because I needed too many reminders. In order to earn a point sheet, I need to have 2 or less reminders. But I can't have more than 2 reminders. So, but I needed 3. And 3 might have been too many reminders. So, yeah, I earned an X because I needed too many reminders. Yeah, a teacher had to remind... Yeah, I needed 3 reminders, and that might have been too much reminders. So, I earned an X on my point sheet for science class because I needed too many reminders. Because instead of doing my job, I was doing my own thing. And I was doodling on my whiteboard. And I think I needed to be reminded 3 times about that. So I earned an X on my point sheet. And I didn't earn a check mark for science. Yeah, my day could have been better in science class. But, yeah. Yeah, my day could have been better in science class. But I had a good day in math class because in math class, I needed 1 reminder, I think. I think I only needed 1 reminder. I can't remember what it was about, but I think I only needed 1 reminder in math class. But I did earn a check mark on my point sheet. And I was a serious student. I was respectful. I made good choices. I completed my work, and I followed directions. And I did not even need I did not even need more than 2 reminders. But I think I only needed 1 reminder in math class. Yeah, that was 1 reminder. But, yeah. Other than that, my day was good in math, but I just needed 1 reminder. Alright. Art class. I earned the check mark, but when it was the last 10 minutes of class, when my teacher, Miss Carey, allowed me to take a walk break, I was walking around and then I ended up touching the pencil sharpener for no reason. And then Miss Carey told me that I had to sit down, and I lost my walk break privileges for the day. And then I said, oh man, I like walking around, but I lost my walk break privileges. And then Miss Carey said, well, Anthony, why did you lose your walk break privileges? And I said, because I was touching stuff, and I was touching the pencil sharpener for no reason. And then she said, yeah, but you only lost your walk break privileges for today. And I told you this yesterday, that if you get caught touching, you can't be touching stuff. And if you get caught touching stuff, then you're going to have to sit down, and you're going to lose your walk break privileges. Yeah, so tomorrow when I'm in STEM class, if my teacher, Miss Carey, allows me to take a walk break, I'm going to walk around and I'm going to try not to touch anything. You know what? I'm not going to touch anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch anything, because I'm gonna remember that if I touch something that doesn't belong to me in STEM class, if I get caught touching the STEM teacher's belongings or anyone else's belongings and stuff, then I'm gonna have to sit down, and I'm gonna lose my walk break privileges. But yeah, that might have been a reminder for touching things, but other than that, my day was good in art. Alright, I earned the check in English class. I earned the check in English class. All right. I earned the check on my point card for English class because I earned the check in English class because I was a serious student. I was respectful. I made good choices. I completed my work and I followed directions, and I did not need any reminders. Yeah, I don't remember getting any reminders in English class. Yeah, I didn't get any reminders by any teachers in English class. Yeah. I didn't get any reminders in English class at all. I did everything. I didn't need any prompts or any reminders. Yeah. And during MTSS, we had to write our name. We had to write in cursive. Yeah, today we had to write in cursive during MTSS class. That was our job. We had to write in cursive. That was our job in MTSS. And my hand was kind of hurting when I was writing in cursive because I had to do like 6 pages or maybe 4. Yeah. Yeah, but I was a serious student in MTSS. I completed my work in MTSS. I was respectful in MTSS. I made good choices in MTSS. I followed directions in MTSS, and I did not need any reminders. But nobody even earned any cash out. I don't think anybody earned cash out. Well, maybe the kids who finished their work on time, but I didn't finish my work until 2:54, and dismissal's at 3 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. I probably wouldn't be able to have any free time anyways because I earned an X on my point sheet. I probably would have either had no free time or I might have had to owe a few minutes of my free time. Yeah, since I got an X, I probably would have had to have no free time, or I probably would have had to owe a few minutes of my free time. But tomorrow, I'm going to try not to get too much reminders. Because if I get too many reminders, then I'll earn an X, and I won't earn a check mark. And I might not be able to have any cash out, or I might have to owe a few minutes of my cash out. Yeah, so tomorrow and any other day, I'm going to try not to get too much reminders from teachers or prayer professionals. Yeah, tomorrow and for the rest of the school year, I'm going to try not to get reminded or prompted to do everything by teachers and prayer professionals and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try my best not to get prompted or reminded to do everything by teachers and staff members and paraprofessionals. Yeah. Yeah, my day was good, but in science, my day could have been better because I earned an X and not a check on my point sheet because I needed too much reminders and I needed too many reminders. Yeah, because in science class, instead of doing my job, I was doing my own thing. And I was doodling on my whiteboard. And my teacher, Miss Carey, probably had to remind me 3 times to stay on task. So that's why I didn't earn a check on my point card for MTS for science, and I earned an X on my point sheet. And in math, I only needed 1 reminder. I think it was probably to stay on task or something. Yeah, in math, I think I only needed 1 reminder. But in every other class, I didn't need any reminders. Yeah, my day was good today, but it could have been a little bit better because in science class, I needed too many reminders to stay on task. But instead of doing my job, I was just doing my own thing. But I gotta stop doing that. Free time is the time that I get to do my own thing. But when a teacher is teaching, then I need to stay on task. And when I have a job to do in school, I need to stay on task. Yeah. When I'm in school and if I have a job to do or if a teacher's teaching, I need to stay on task and I can't just do my own thing. Yeah. So if I have a job to do in school and if a teacher is teaching, then I need to stay on task and I can't just do my own thing. I gotta stay on task when I need to stay on task. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna try to stay on task and I'm gonna try not to get any reminders or any too much reminders from any teachers or paraprofessionals. Yeah. All right, guys. This was day 5 of the interview, of me being interviewed by my imaginary friend Caesar. Yeah, this is day 6. This is day 6 of me being interviewed by my imaginary friend Caesar. All right, I'm gonna end here. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna end here. All right, guys.